Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Carolyn Klein, Program Officer for STAR, and I'm thrilled to welcome you to STARburst, a new initiative for STAR, where in the middle of every month, we feature a different STAR member sharing some of their clinical wisdom or new research they've been involved in. Today, I am thrilled to welcome Dr. Jared Boot-Haury. Dr. Boot-Haury is a board-certified and licensed clinical psychologist, ASEX certified sex therapist, and certified sex therapist supervisor, and W-Path certified member and mentor. Dr. Boot-Haury is relatively new to STAR, having joined our membership in 2024. Dr. Boot-Haury, it's wonderful to be speaking with you today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm thrilled to speak on this important topic.
Wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm currently located in San Francisco, and I work as an LGBTQ plus specialty psychologist at Kaiser Permanente, so working with LGBTQ plus patients, and I also provide sex therapy in my current position to patients who are members, and I am involved in serving as a committee member on a few students' dissertations related to my specialty area because I used to teach at the University of San Francisco in their doctoral program in clinical psychology. I'm a faculty internship advisor at Palo Alto University, so mentoring students through the A.P.P.P internship application process. And then of course, also provide supervision services to individuals seeking ASEX certification as sex therapists and mentoring services to individuals seeking to become certified members of the World Professional Association for Transgender Health. So that's a little bit about some of the work I do. I know I'm a glutton for punishment, but I really enjoy the work that I do.
Thank you. In 2024, you published a paper called Asexual Affirming Care Recommendations for Practice. We will put the reference to the paper at the end of this so that people can check it out. It's a great paper. But so that you can share a little bit of your clinical wisdom in just a couple of minutes, can you share some of the nuggets from that paper?
Yeah. So some of the most important pieces from that paper, there have been other articles that were published giving some information about clinically affirming practice, but this was the first one, to my and the co-author's knowledge, that actually followed a case throughout the article and brought it to life for clinicians. Sometimes, although recommendations are very important, bringing it to life of how it would actually be employed in practice can really help people feel more comfortable in working with an asexual client. So it starts out with a clinical vignette talking about a client who de-identified, of course, and drawing from multiple cases to avoid identification. But it starts out illustrating a client who is questioning their identity, who has a history of sexual trauma, who wonders if they are asexual or if they're experiencing a trauma response, and follows this client throughout the article, illustrating how you would distinguish a trauma response from minority stress and asexual identity, what sort of assessments you might use to distinguish distress from minority stress versus distress from like not being able to have fulfilling sex. It also illustrates and brings to life the concepts of compulsory sexuality and allonormativity. So the idea that we all have to be engaging in sex or we are aberrant from the norm, and then allonormativity is what follows that idea that we have to fit into allosexual or non-asexual norms to lead fulfilling and happy lives. So it illustrates how those concepts can be damaging to all people, but especially to asexual people, and how that can lead to distress in clients and patients who are coming to see us.
Fantastic. And I'll just throw in a little plug here that it looks like you actually were a part of developing a measure that is referenced in that article. If I've got it right, you can correct me, but for being able to sort of discern, is it more of the minority stress that's playing a role for individuals with asexuality? And again, everyone can find reference to that in the paper. If there's anything you want to correct, please feel free.
Yeah, no, thank you for bringing that up. That's one of the measures that we illustrate as important, the asexual stigma inventory and the asexual identification scale, which was developed by Ewell et al. At the University of British Columbia. If people score high in both of those measures, then chances are they identify as asexual and they're experiencing minority stress. And then our job is to help them accept their identities, build community, build resilience to counter some of the negative narratives out there instead of trying to quote unquote fix their sexual orientation. And the article also goes through like how we may inadvertently fall into that trap and practice sexual orientation change efforts with clients if we aren't careful to distinguish where the distress is coming from. If we're having these allonormative and compulsory sexuality norms in our heads and coming up with this idea that you can't be happy unless you're having sexual relationships with other people, then we could inadvertently be practicing sexual orientation change efforts with our patients.
Thank you. What do you think are still some of the biggest misconceptions about asexuality, whether that's in the community at large, whether that's for professionals, or even for asexual individuals themselves who are learning about this for the first time?
Yeah, for asexual individuals who are learning about this for the first time, I think one of the biggest misconceptions, I myself identify in the asexual spectrum. I identify as demisexual, which is people who experience sexual attraction only in the context of an emotional bond with another person. And I think, something I experienced and many other asexual spectrum people experience is this idea that we have to be all or none, that we have no interest in sex, or and are asexual, or we have all the interest in sex and are allosexual. But asexuality, like other sexual orientations, is a spectrum, and so being able to come to terms with the fact that a better description of asexuality is experiencing sexual attraction to others that is non-existent or different from the norm. So I'd say that's one of the biggest misconceptions in the community. A lot of people can struggle with, do I fit in? Do I belong to the community? And the answer is yes. If you experience sexual attraction different from allosexual people, then yes, you do belong to the asexual community.
One of STAR's aims is always to bridge clinical practice and research. And we know that research on minority groups is severely lacking compared to research on white, heterosexual, cisgendered individuals. If you could, what would be the research you'd love to see happening next with the asexual community that would better inform our clinical practice?
Yeah. I would like to see like pilot studies and that could lead to randomized controlled trials of adapted interventions for the asexual community. Pachenkus has a wonderful LGBTQ plus affirmative cognitive behavioral therapy intervention that's been studied among subgroups within the LGBTQ plus community. It'd be really neat if that was studied and adapted in a way specific for asexual individuals. I'd like to see more research on intersecting identities among asexual people. The vast majority of research that exists is on cisgender asexual people, which is unfortunate because we have more and more data coming out that trans and gender diverse people identify as asexual at up to 10 times the number of cisgender asexual people.
And if you were to recommend one or two top resources for our members who want to learn more, what would you recommend? And we will make sure we post that on the last slide.
Yeah, I would say I would recommend the Asexual Visibility and Education Network. It's the largest and oldest asexual advocacy organization in the country. And they have forums for individuals to ask questions to other asexual people, opportunities to participate in research, definitions, and other FAQs on their website. And then for professionals, I would say I would recommend the LGBTQIA plus Health Education Center through the Fenway Institute. They have a free 1 hour training on asexual affirming practice. So those would be the top two resources that I would recommend.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. We like to end every Starburst with a 1 minute lightning round where we just get to ask some fun questions of you, not meant to be controversial, not meant to require long answers, but it just allows us to get to know you with some fun little facts. Here we go.
Okay.
Ready?
All right.
When you started your training, who was one of your idols in the field?
Dr. Kimberly Balsam.
When it's your birthday, what's the food you're most likely to eat?
Oh, gelato.
What is the emoji you use most on your phone?
Probably the sweat smiling emoji.
What is the last thing you did that you tried for the very first time? The most recent thing you did that you tried for the first time?
Oh, well, going to Palm Springs Pride, I did that just over the past weekend.
Wait, what's something you've tried and you'll never do it again?
Um, let's see. Something I tried and I'll never do again.
Listen to or
Well, I did try camping a while ago and I never will do that again.
I love it. If you could have a year's supply of any one thing, what would it be?
Oh, okay. I guess I'd have to say Halo Top ice cream. I love those. The
Oh,
guilt-free but yummy flavors. They're coming out with new ones. It's good.
lovely. Thank you so much. Everyone, this has been Dr. Jared Boot-Haury. I am thrilled that you spoke with us today. It's such a pleasure. And we'll put information on the last screen about their paper on asexual affirming care and the recommended resources, as well as professional contact information. So please feel free to get in touch with them. And thank you everyone for listening here for Starburst. It's a little burst of star quality information where we get a chance to recognize the professional contributions of our members, help us stay up to date on clinical practice and new research, and facilitate professional connections by making sure we know each other. If you'd like to be a part of Starburst, please reach out to me, Dr. Carolyn Klein, at info@starnet.org. Put Starburst in the line. I would love to showcase you and your work. This is a great opportunity, supervisors, to highlight your students as well. So nominate them to take part as well. Everyone, it's been a pleasure. We'll see you again next month. Take care.